Hey, what is up, my YouTubian subscribers? Secured here to do my review for RWBY, Volume 5, Chapter 12, Vault of the Spring Maiden. And all I have to say is, oh my god. Their objective, Rooster Teeth's objective, Miles and Carrie, their objective is to get us to hate Ozpin. By the time this series is over, Ozpin is gonna have zero motherfucking fans. Oh. Just the implications this chapter has on Pierre Nikos' death, his relationship with Oscar, his relationship with the Huntresses and Hunters. It's just, oh my god. Oh my god. The amount I hate Ozpin just like skyrocketed this chapter. So, if you don't know, I spoil the episode as I do my reviews. So, if you haven't watched it, wait till Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it comes out on Rooster Teeth's website for our members, or next Saturday when it comes out on their YouTube channel. A like, comment down below on with the show. Basically, this chapter picks up immediately, like seconds after the last chapter. You hear Jean yell, "Weiss!" And then he runs up to her. As this is happening, Lionheart is taken down by Oscar. Now, it's confirmed that this is Oscar using the muscle memory of Ozpin, which means it makes sense. He was slower and weaker than he was when he was taking out Cinder, or trying to take out Cinder. We then have an exchange between Hazel and Leo. Leo basically says that ain't just any boy. It's Ozpin. And then we learn a bit about we learn the relationship between Hazel, which is basically one of the I haven't liked the villain in this series minus Roman Torchwick and maybe Neo. And Hazel just confirms another bad backstory. Basically, Hazel's reason for hating Ozpin is that his sister signed up to be a huntress and was killed. Now, I have issues because it's basically freaking he forms a child army. Like the hunters and huntresses he trains, he forms a child army out of them, and I don't agree with that. Like he's agreed to recruit a 15-year-old girl, a 16-year-old girl to his cause. Like, so whatever. That's what I'm getting at anyways, is that I just don't see how, like, Ozpin has no moral standing to be like, oh, Hazel's a bad guy. He's hurt in ways. He blames me. It's like, well, you sent her on the mission. It is technically your fault, even though she agreed to be a huntress. You shouldn't be recruiting 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. Like, the hunter school should start when they're in their mid-20s. Like, I don't mind the idea that they're being trained when they're 15, 16, 17. It's that they're being trained and then going on missions when they're 16, 17. And I just don't... yeah. Anyways, we then learn what Hazel does to basically Hazel's ability is grabbing two lightning crystals, dust crystals out of his pocket, stabbing himself in the arm, and then apparently he becomes faster and stronger. We then cut away to Jean and Ren are kneeling over Weiss. Weiss basically then Jean activates his semblance like we all thought. Now, I'm happy. This is a good thing because his semblance isn't something overpowered. It's just healing, which great. That doesn't explain how he reflected. Cardin's punch back at him, but whatever. As long as I was so convinced, and my biggest fear, like I was saying in my last review, was that he'd just and he'd become a knight, and I was worried they were gonna go the knight in shining armor. He was gonna be like completely covered in white flames and be able to reflect anything back at people or absorb it and then strike people with the power they hit him with. As this is happening, Raven, Vernal, and Cinder basically get Leo to open up the vault to the Spring Maiden. And for the rest of it, this is my big, like, oh my god. Anyways, Vernal, we then cut away. They go down this giant elevator. The vault is like this gorgeous tree with like floating ember leaves. And as they walk, the pathway's lit and below them. Now, we cut back to Team Ranger and Yang, essentially, is the ones left fighting. Now, Crow, or should I say Mercury and Emerald, they block they block Yang's attack vector on. It's a cheesy line. Basically, pulled the, oh, if you want to get to her, you're gonna have to go through me, and I'm like, that's. I'm fine with them taunting I'm fine with Mercury taunting his enemies because that suits his character, but that came out of fucking Emerald, and I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god, this chapter is, it's. Yeah, I'm gonna get there, but the rage I feel right now over Pyrenikos' death, the hatred I feel for Ozpin, is like seconded only to my hatred of Blake currently. I don't like Blake, but they're like right there right now. Maybe Blake's a little bit below Ozpin from what we learned in this chapter. It's another fucking lie. And this one came from motherfucking Crow. Basically what happens now is fucking, I'm just mad. I'm sorry. Oscar tries to defend himself. He's getting overwhelmed. Then like we all suspected, Ozpin proves that he's not integrating with Oscar. He's possessing Oscar. He takes Oscar over, and then his speed, strength doubles, and he's able to take down Hazel. At least put him to his knees. As this is happening, Ruby wakes up. She sees what's going on. She runs over to Weiss, and to me, my biggest issue is it looks like Jean has already healed Weiss. Like when Ruby, basically what he's doing is he's holding his hands over Weiss's wound, and when Ruby moves his hand to see what he's doing, it looks like she's 100% healed. Like maybe there's internal damage, but I would say you need the extra arms when you're fighting a guy like Hazel. We then have Ruby take command of Team Ranger, and I don't like this because Ruby was never the leader of Team Ranger. Team Ranger was always Jean's. Jean was the leader of Team Ranger. Jean took the lead every major fight in Volume 4. So I don't like that when it's fucking Ruby. I would have preferred it if Jean was like, Ruby, you gotta go help Yang. Ren, go. Ozpin and Crow need your help. And then he's like, Nora, watch my back. Or better yet, I would have had Ren, because like I said, lightning dust. I would have had Ren watch Jean's back, and then had Nora go and fight Hazel, because she gets strong. She literally, every time he touches her, she'll get stronger. Very, very similar to Yang, because he's become the Raikage from Naruto. He has a lightning armor essentially, and so every time he touches her, she gets stronger. And anyways, and then we see Yang being overwhelmed by Emerald and Mercury. We then have Ruby jump in. She manages to slam Emerald pretty good, and Yang's like, thanks sis, and Yang goes, are you alright? And Ruby's like, nah, I'm mad. And then we cut down to the vault again, and this is where the chapter ends. We have Vernal walk up to the vault door, and as this is happening, Cinder begins to taunt Raven. She's like, I heard you were smart, I heard you were clever, I heard you were a good leader. Too bad they're all lies. And then she freezes Raven in place. A thin, like, it's a really, really nice effect. It's not that big, chunky, crystal looking ice that Weiss uses. It's a thin layer of ice that completely encases Raven. We then have, and as this is happening, Vernal gets stabbed. Now, all those theories that Ruby had blown off at least half of, like, pretty much what we know now is that Ruby blew off her entire arm and, like, maybe half of her face, is from what we've seen. And that's why she had such a negative reaction, because she has a Grim arm in place of her original arm. She stabs Vernal with it, and like the bugs from volume 3, she's apparently able to absorb the Spring Maiden energy through that. And oh my fucking god, I'm at the point where I'm getting mad. Okay, I'm gonna remain calm, or at least as calm as I can. But basically, what happens is, as she does the exact same thing she did to Pyrrha. She walks up, taunts Vernal. She's like, that power doesn't belong. That power, it's nice that you have. It's a nice power you have there. It's mine now. And then you see a shocked expression on her face as Vernal collapses, and I'm like, what's happening? Because it didn't look like the aura transfer that happened between Amber and Cinder. and then it's revealed. The ice shatters on as she's killing Vernal. The ice cracks around Raven slowly but surely, and then she shatters it. She tears off her mask and yells, Vernal isn't the Spring Maiden. You see the glow in her eye. I am. And I'm like, oh my fucking god. Why the hell wasn't Glinda made the Fall Maiden? Oh my fucking god. Why wasn't Glinda made the Fall Maiden in Volume 3? Volume 2, as soon as Crow brought Amber to you, why the fuck wasn't Glinda made the Fall Maiden? Glinda's a superior huntress. She's faster, she's stronger, she has a more unique ability than you. Oh my fucking god. He's willing to sacrifice his students. Oh my fucking god. And I know you're gonna say, well, maybe Glinda was too. No. We apparently. Oh my. How the fuck old is Raven? She's at least. She has to be at least. If Yang's 18 and she meets Tai Yang at 17 and she was around for the entire time she was in Beacon, that means she was at least 21, 22 before she had Raven had Yang. That means she's at least 40. That means she was at least 30 when she stole the Spring Maiden's power, killed the Spring Maiden, made sure she saw that it was Raven was her last thought. Oh my fucking god. Oh my. Now I know you can say, well, maybe Glinda was like 50 or 60. Glinda was not 50 or 60. At most, Glinda was like 45. Maybe, I would even go so far as to say she's like 25. I'd go so far as to say she's like the same age as motherfucking Winter Schnee. Oh my fucking god. Ozpin is a. I'm sorry. Pure Nikos was one of my favorite characters, and her sacrifice just continues to get spit on by Ozpin. Ozpin is such a bad leader. Oh my, it's over. Ozpin is no longer a good guy. He's better than freaking, oh my god, he's better than Salem, but he's not a good guy. This is a guy who's willing to sacrifice his students, willing to hire children to join his army. They possess a 12-year-old kid. Oh my god. Oh my motherfucking god. Oh. Do you see this? This is the most heated I've gotten because this isn't fucking Crow's shitty semblance. This is a complete disrespect of everything we've learned. He lied. He said that only young women can become become maidens. No. Raven was middle-aged when she became a fucking maiden. 10 years. Every chance we get, he lies to us, and I'm so fucking sick of him. Rooster Teeth needs to have Team RWBY and Team Juniper leave Ozpin's control. Because shit like this happens when you're listening to Ozpin. You lose your friends, you lose your family, you lose everyone you care. Oh my fucking god. I'm the Can you tell I'm mad? I didn't like Vernal. I thought Vernal was a okay character, so I'm not mad that she died. Oh my god. Can we please, Rooster Teeth, just have them leave Ozpin for a bit? Find their own way in this world for a bit. Because he's a liar. He's manipulative. He's evil. Like, he's evil, man. Gods can't be all good, and they can't. If a god is all good, he can't be a god, and that's what Ozpin is. He's not a good person. Oh man, alive! If a god is all powerful, he can't be all good, and if he's not all, oh my god. I won't be surprised if it turns out that Ozpin lied about sacrificing some of his powers. That's beside the point. That apparently you can get multiple maiden powers inside of you. I don't care about that because it's coming from Salem's side. I don't care about anything we learn about Salem's side of this because, like, absorbing multiple maiden powers, fine, whatever, do what you want with that. But having a 35, 30-year-old woman become a, and I know people are gonna hate on this me for not like, because this chapter, animation, voice acting, everything else was so fucking good, but the implication that you don't need to be a young woman to become a maiden, just he literally could have chosen any huntress in Vale, minus like 70-year-old retired huntresses, and he chose a 17-year-old girl because he knew how she, like, the thing with Pyrrha is he knew she felt like her destiny was to be this great hero, this great, like, oh my motherfucking god. I really, really hate Ospen. There's very little you can do to redeem his character after this chapter for me. And honestly, if John finds out that Pyrrha made a sacrifice when it could have been Glinda could have had that power for a year almost. Like, like, we're forgetting that volume 1 and 2 took place across 3 months, or 9 months. That the Vital Festival took place at the end of a school year. So almost a year, 9-10 months. And we don't even know how long he kept Amber before that. It's just, I'm just mad. I'm just mad. I'm emotional. I'm very, very angry that Pyrrha's sacrifice was for nothing now. Literally nothing. That we had a perfectly viable fall maiden, one who was more powerful than Pyrrha and could have used that. Not Pyrrha. Glinda's literally a witch. Her semblance is telekinesis, or or glyphs, some kind of purple glyphs. Oh my. Like, comment down below, subscribe, Amino, like, comment, follow me if you're watching on Amino. If you have any thoughts on Ospen, thoughts on Glinda, thoughts on just, if you agree with me, disagree, I don't really give a fuck at this point, because my favorite character in the series died for nothing. Securge, signing off.